Atheism doesn't offer anything. Well, that's true, it's a negation. But there are only human beings who are atheists. And when you take away the big guy in the sky, you take away a lot of things. And as a human being, I suppose we have some obligation to provide more. Human beings have a need for more. Because when you take out God, you take out a lot of structure. You take out the big guy, and all these other things fall away. All the mythology, all the dogma, all the meaning, although artificial, is gone. And what is to replace it? And certainly atheists have found something to replace it on an individual level, and perhaps to some degree in a scientific level. They have, by and large, held on tight and attached themselves to the notion of rationality and science, and proclaim this as of the utmost importance. And yet, human beings are by nature, they have evolved to be highly irrational. And they need much more than this, because there is much more in human beings. Human beings need myths. They need meaning. And this is not necessarily the job of atheists, as I said. This is a job of human beings. Where are we going? What are we doing? And why are we here? These questions need to be answered. Without them, societies collapse. Now, you may not believe this, but human beings are highly irrational. Their consciousness is too small to contain all the information in the world. We've evolved to be emotional. We've evolved in such a way that advertising persuades us not through rational means, but through emotional means, as do politicians. And we look for meanings and reasons. And no amount of explaining or no amount of reason will make people reasonable, including the most rational of us. We will just rationalize our emotions as being reasonable. So how do you answer? Where are we going? Well, maybe we're going to Mars. Well, it seems to me that's a really silly place to go on a practical level. After all, people say that, well, there are things that only human beings can do. But if you look at the amount of money that it will take to take human beings to Mars as opposed to robotic systems, I doubt very seriously there's anything that human beings can do there that robots can't. But that's not really the point. The point is to send human beings there because of the adventure, of the mystery, of the exploration. There's something built in. I mean, heck, that's why this planet is overrun with people, because we're explorers, we're going places, and we've run out of places to go. We need places to go. I don't think it's Mars, but Mars might be where we're going to go to keep ourselves together to some degree. They might need to be more metaphorical. We might need to go to places that are going to be idealistic in the sense that we're going to make ourselves better. We're going to explore the universe. Maybe not directly, maybe more indirectly, because that is necessitated by practical considerations. When you take out the big guy in the sky, you have to answer some questions. You have to answer these questions. Where are we going? Well, I guess the old answer was we're going to heaven and God has a plan for us. That's where we're going as a collective. Why are we here? Well, Why are we here is a completely irrational question. It's a flawed question. In Chinese, there is 3 answers to every question, either yes, no, or mu. 3 answers to every yes or no question. And mu is the question is flawed. There is no whys. But we can come up with something, and that's a myth. That's a myth? I don't understand that. Is that a myth? I don't know. I don't believe in this myth stuff or this collective unconscious stuff, which is, in a more kind of pejorative way, some people call genetic memory. Well, if you understand evolutionary biology, you understand it's not possible not to have a collective unconscious. Snakes and stuff that we're afraid of, where'd that come from? And don't tell me that there are lots of snakes that are not poisonous, because memory doesn't work like genetic memory. You eliminate alleles from the gene pool. It's not like your regular memory. If you have lots of snakes that are not poisonous, all it takes is one poisonous snake to knock your genes out of the gene pool, those genes that make you afraid of snakes. Why are we here? Well, we can come up with answers. Not real answers, but mythological answers. We're here to grow, to better ourselves, to advance humanity. We can look at our children and say, they are the next generation, and then we're going somewhere. Well, in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the Earth was destroyed by a Vogon battle fleet, and Arthur Dent and Ford Prefect went back in time to prehistoric time, and they knew that the Earth would be destroyed again, and everything was pointless. And if you think about it, there's the red giant that our star will become in 5 billion years. There's very little chance that much of humanity will get out of the solar system. That space is just too vast. But you have to have whys. And you have to have what are we doings. These answers to these really not rational questions are exceedingly important. And so when you knock out the big guy, it's important to think about what comes next. This is not the job of atheism. This is our job. All of us.